Hey again, folks, welcome back to Remember11, the Age of Infinity. Last time, we got the shelter cabin crew, except for Yomogi, out from the shelter cabin there at Sphere. Very strange sight to see, indeed. So, let's see how this ends. And will Yomogi live or die? I can't remember if he was... I honestly can't remember what happened the last time with him. I remember he fell down like the crevice at one point. I remember he did like 2 or 3 different ways, didn't he? But I can't remember the one where she saw Satoru, the actual ending with her. I can't remember if he specifically died or if he was just lost. By the way, nice to see you again, Kokoro. It's been a while. It actually has been a while. Now I'm really thinking about it. It might be good if you would stop talking. She expelled all that in a single breath. Overpowered, I shrank back. There's no way I'd be able to fool her so easily this late in the game. Late in the game, okay. I heaved a sigh. And I started walking toward the entrance to the facility. Kokoro said as she restlessly looked around. I'm wondering what will happen when there's 2 unis. Kokoro grew sulky and threw herself down on one of the dining area chairs with a thumb. Without replying to her, I started walking. Kokoro came pattering along after me. Kokoro reacted vehemently to the ruined living area, but it'd be a pain to explain it all to her now. I left Kokoro behind and headed for Ryuni's room. I opened the door and peeked inside. Kokoro, who chased after me, pointed at the living area, still pestering me about it. Even so, pretending not to listen to her. That's such good social skills. Next, I headed for Itsumi's room. Oh, did they leave? Oh, crap. He didn't close the door back behind him when he left. Did they get out? Finally peeked into Tori's room. I looked in everyone's room, but none of them were there. And something jumped into my head and I began to run. A voice reached my back. Can't be helped, I should answer. I ran past the living area and into the dining area. I dashed down the stairs to the basement storeroom. As I thought no one was down there either. Ran into the small room where Inamoto had once hidden. She sounds so carefree. Looks like she still hasn't realized the severity of the situation. Left her alone and began to examine the video data. Uh-oh. Tuesday, January 17th. Time, 5:20. Location, front gate. Today the first transfer occurred at 4:48. which means that Sophia was at Mount Akakura. With the front gate open, before long, Sumi and Uni appeared on the screen, followed by Hattori. Hattori kept herself at a distance, walking slightly behind the two of them, and then all three of them vanished as if sucked into the background, heading in for the gate. Kokoro was watching the video from over my shoulder, as carefree as ever. Perhaps all the abnormal events happening in such quick succession messed up the way she thinks. Silently continuing my review of the data, I couldn't concern myself with Kokoro right now. Kokoro, go away. I'm thinking here. After rewinding the recording, I found that Isumi and Uni had left Sophia to search for me. Isumi, who noticed my disappearance, she woke Uni, and after a brief search, they came to the open front gate. They figured that I'd probably gone out the gate. So with the intention of pursuing me, they left Sophia. But like Hattori alone had a different goal. Rather than looking for me, it was simply a case of the gate was open, so I felt like going out. Yeah, I think I'll go for a walk. It doesn't look too cold. Taking advantage of this, she could have been planning to escape from Sophia. Anyway, at 5:20 a.m., the three of them walked out the Sophia circle. They never came back, because only 1 minute later, a transfer occurred. They're not at the Mount Akira of a year ago. On a snowy mountain in the dead of winter. They're trapped out there in the middle of a blizzard. 2 women and 1 little boy. At that moment, I understood everything.
そうだったのか。なんでもっと早く気づかなかったんだ。
Okay. Did they not find the bodies though? Are they saying that they switched? That the people they did find at the people found in the paper, in the newspaper article, was actually Atsumi and Hattori? They had their pictures though in the paper, didn't they? Yeah, they had the pictures and they had the names listed though. I can't remember what they said about the bodies though. Maybe they're unrecognizable. It's not like they were burnt though. You would think that, well, they were only a day though. I mean, yeah, well, how long did it say it took them to find the bodies? I can't remember that. I can't remember. Anyway, let's keep going then. I struck the console with my clenched fist. When I turned around, I was met with an apprehensive look from Kokoro.
教えてくれ。ヨモギさんのことなんだが。
At my words, the color in Kokoro's face instantly drained.
そうだ。どうしてこんな大事なこと。ヨモギさんを助けに行かなくちゃ。
She spun around to face the door, her hair flying wildly in every direction.
今言っても無駄だ。
I grabbed her arm to stop her.
もう何よ。何なのよ。何が起きてるっていうの？説明してくれるって言ったのに、何も教えてくれないじゃない。
これから説明する。だけどその前に聞かせてくれないか。ヨモギさんは今赤倉岳にいるんだよな。赤倉岳っていうのはその海がなかった時の赤倉岳だ。
そうよ。吹雪の中、私を追いかけて出て行っちゃったの。だから私は彼を探しに。
そうか。やはりな。心。あの新聞記事のこと覚えて。
忘れようと思っても忘れられないわよ。
あれには確かこう書いてあったよな。赤倉岳に男女3人のフラン死体。HAL 墜落事故の不明者か。男女3人。
So it is decomposed. Okay.
そのうちの2人、心と凛のことじゃなかったんだよ。あの記事にあった死体とは、ヨモギさんと心と凛のことじゃなくて、ヨモギさんと それから内海さん、ほとり。
どういうこと？
I explained everything in Kokoro from start to finish. The space-time transfer to 3 exchange points, the existence of a middle point called Harubi Mine, explaining it as understandably as I could, and making use of the video data to back it up. Wait a second. Wait a second. So it goes from Sphere to Hokkaido. So they're not actually at the... Okay, my brain's actually losing track of what's going on. But I was just thinking, what would happen would have been Itsumi and Hattori and Uni would have went to Hokkaido, correct? Or not to Hokkaido, but to where... the third point, anyway. So that's where they are, actually. Told her about what had happened to our bodies without omitting a single detail. So I didn't say anything about the identity of Alpha. I believed it'd be enough to tell her there was another person. Didn't want to burden her unreasonably. After I finished, she tried in vain to form a coherent sentence. Her hollow eyes were fixed on the screen.
今言っても無駄なんだ。次の転移を待つしかない。
じゃあ、ヨモギさんは助からないの？内海さんはどうなっちゃうの？羽鳥ちゃんは？ユニは？
大丈夫だ。とにかく落ち着け。諦めるのはまだ早い。今は
I took my wristwatch out of my pocket and checked the time.
6時10分だ。雪崩の発生時刻はまだ40分以上ある。
40分しかでしょ？雪崩の発生地点までは 1km もあるのよ。今すぐ出発したって間に合うかどうか。それにここが避難小屋だったら次の転移までの時間がわかるけど、でもここはアオサギ島にあるスフィアで、だから転移はランダムに。そうでしょ？
ああ、だが逆に考えれば今すぐ起こっても
おかしくはない。じゃあどうして私たちこんなところにいるの？
さあ。
I shrugged my shoulders. My gesture made Kokoro's eyebrows go flying up.
だったら早く言ってよね。
She flew out of the room. Hurley did the same. We returned to the surface, heading for the front gate. As we ran toward it, a transfer. Could this be called divine protection? A perfectly timed space-time transfer occurred. Oh wait, no. Wait, what? Am I getting confused? I must be getting confused. What? No, I didn't get confused, though. Because when he stepped out before... Oh, well, let's just keep going with it. I'm getting confused. A perfectly timed space-time transfer occurred. I knew that due to the way the scenery on the other side suddenly transformed. Of course, that was only one of the reasons, but more importantly, we were suddenly engulfed in a raging blizzard. I guess it was a consequence of the drop in atmospheric pressure, but I suddenly felt an acute pain stabbing in my eardrums. But how could I care about such trivial pain? Okay, so okay, maybe that's the reason. They skipped the third point this time, for whatever reason. Compared to the wounds on my back and left arm, this was hardly even worth mentioning. We passed through the gate. A mantle of white snow shrouded everything we could see. Visibility was terrible. I could barely make out my own feet. Kokoro was silent. We didn't say a word about the transfer. She only shot the most fleeting of glances at me, then nodded. She had such a gallant expression on her face that it almost made me forget her gender.
行きましょう。
And with those 3 words, we ran east. I knew that the gate faced north, and I knew that the location where the avalanche would occur was located to the east. But sooner or later, I will lose my bearings if I keep marching along under these conditions. What could I do? While I was busy thinking about that, Kokoro was getting further and further away from me. She plowed on through the blizzard, moving so fast I could hardly see her anymore. I had no choice but to go. I had no choice but to move forward, trying to avoid the snowflakes that struck my face with the force of a slap. I charged after Kokoro. Finally caught up with her. I couldn't make her take the lead. I ran in front of her and stood in her path.
わかるの？
東だろ。
東がどっちなのか。
こっちにまっすぐ行けばいいんだろ。
Pointed forward as I continued rustling through the deep snow. Tap tap. Something tapped me on the shoulder. Turned around. Kokoro held her outstretched hand in front of me. In the palm of that hand
コンパ
was...
ス？持ってんだったら早く言えよ。
だから今言ったじゃない。
サンキュー。
Took it and started walking again. Kind of cool that they're getting to work together again. Well, not again. Finally getting to work together. That's cool. I like that. I like this twist. I like it. I could hear Kokoro breathing behind me. After a while,
サンキュー。
she repeated the very same
何の
words.
俺だ。
先頭に立ってくれたこと。
そんなこと。
それから今までのこと全部。
I pretended I hadn't heard that and continued intently on our eastward march. I mustn't let these human emotions distract me. I must be like the Vulcan. 20 minutes had passed since we'd begun our march. Our destination wasn't yet in sight. Not that we could spot Yomogi even 5 meters away through the snowstorm. A world covered in white. No matter how far we went, the scenery didn't change one bit. I began to doubt that we were actually getting closer to our destination. I checked the compass again and again. The needle was always pointing left. No doubt about it, we were definitely heading east. 18 more minutes until the
間に合ってくれ。
avalanche.
頼む。
I stopped being able to feel my toes long ago. Tips of my fingers were going numb. The chill had reached the core of my spine and was eating into it. Could move the way I wanted to. A cold that strangled my whole body like a thick chain. Innumerable snowflakes hurled themselves past us as though crazed. Ice crystals flashed relentlessly at my cheeks and the nape of my neck. Suddenly I noticed something. The breathing I'd heard until then had vanished. Turned around. Kokoro wasn't there.
なんで。
I retraced my footsteps through the snow.
ココロー。ココロー。
My cries brought no response. They were all erased by the howl of the
ココロ
blizzard.
ー。ココロー。
Yet I continued my desperate yelling. Finally, I caught sight of her. Kokoro was lying in the snow. I rushed over and lifted her up in my
コ
arms.
コロー。ココロー。しっかりしろ。
She'd lost consciousness. She didn't even twitch. From what I'd heard earlier, she went to the location where the avalanche would occur last night. This is the second time she's tried to go there. Her physical strength was at its limit. In the brutal cold of that blizzard, she kept walking forward, sustained only by her own willpower.
起きろ。起きてくれ。
I shook her shoulders hard. Her eyes fluttered open.
サトル、私のことはいいから早くみんなのところへみんなを助けてあげて。
バカ。お前を置いていけるわけないだろ。
やっぱりサトルって思った通りの人だった。私信じてたんだ。ずっとサトルのこと信じてたの。サトルはきっとなんていうかかっこいい人なんだって。
アホかお前。最 最後の言葉みた
You're
い
a
な
cool
こと言って
guy,
んじゃねえよ
Satoru. Cool guy. You got cool guy shades. You got cool guy. I don't know. Is that cool? Is Satoru's haircut a cool haircut? I've got a haircut. That's nice. What a weird random thing to say. Yeah, you're a cool guy, Satoru.
お前がここで死んじまったら元も子もないんだよ。
でも私
歩けないんなら俺が背負っていく。
無理だよ。
無理じゃない。たとえ無理でもやるんだ。
どうしてそんなことしたらサトルも死んじゃうかもしれないのに。
俺メッセージに書いただろ。借りた恩は必ず返す主義なんだって。だから
サトル、
それにな、お前の体はお前だけのものじゃないんだ。お前の命だってお前だけのものじゃない。前に言ったよな。俺とお前は一心同体。たとえ二度と転移が起きなかったとしても。
Sounds like a really creepy pickup line. Yo, buddy, kind of sort of belongs to me. That sounds really creepy. I mean, I know he means it in a nice way. He means it in a very cool way, but yeah, it sounds really creepy.
俺はお前を失いたくないんだ。
バカだよそんなの。
ああ、何とでも言ってくれ。とにかく俺はお前を背負っていく。
I did as I said, shifting her onto my
本
back.
当にバカだよ。こんなことするなんて。
Her soft voice right by my ear.
でもバカだけどサンキュー。きっと倍にして返すからね。24,860メートルは
うるせえな。
Cool callback.
喋る気力があるなら歩かせるぞ。
She didn't answer. Suddenly, I felt her body weight fall upon me. She'd lost consciousness again. All I could hear was the frighteningly faint sound of her breathing. Present time, 6:48 a.m. Whoa, it's right there. 5 minutes into the avalanche.
よもぎさん、内海さん、ほとり、ユニー。
Even though I knew it was futile, I couldn't help but shout. No answer, only the sound of the raging wind, like the screams of the god of death, answered me. I too, after walking this far, was beginning to feel my consciousness slip away. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black shadow flicker. It was just an illusion of the Grim Reaper. Took one step forward, then another, but it wasn't only myself I had to move. Kokoro's body was like a leaden weight on my back. The cold ate into my lungs. The blizzard's assault never once let up. My frozen limbs began to cramp up in spasm. It felt like my freezing sinews were beginning to crack. Sharp pain ran through my whole body, but I wouldn't stop. Wouldn't give up, not a chance. I walked and walked and walked. I plunged forward through the blizzard, shook off that illusion of death, and walked. With the compass still clutched tightly in my right hand and my wristwatch in my left. Prison time, according to the watch, was 6:50 a.m.
そう。よもぎさん、内海さん、ほとり、ユニー。
It's getting pretty close now. It's
誰
just time.
か、誰か返事をしてくれ。
And right then, in the episode, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and we're gonna have to find out next time what happened right then. So, do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Farewell there.